So the last couple days we've been talking about factoring. Yes? How are you feeling about it? Confident? Still a little shaky? A little iffy? Good? Okay. So what are we factoring today? Trinomials. How do you know it's a trinomial? There's three. Okay? And it says it on the board. That's exactly right. Okay? In your student-friendly learning objective. Yes? Okay? So I'm going to show you two ways to factor these today. Okay? Two ways to factor them. The first way, a little longer, a little bit more steps. Works every time. Second way, super easy. Doesn't work every time. Okay? So we're going to start with the way that takes a little bit longer. Fair enough? First thing we have to do is identify all of our players here. Okay? This is a quadratic, isn't it? X squared plus 6x plus 5. When we identify all of our players, I need to know A and B and C. You guys have seen this before though, right? I know it's been a while, like a whole year, right, since Algebra 1. But you recognize those, right? Okay. So the first thing I want us to find is AC. So what am I asking you to do with A and C? Multiply them. How do you know that? A and C aren't just like sitting next to each other because they're friends, right? We want to multiply A and C. So what do you get when you multiply A and C? 5. 1 times 5, right? Then we need to identify B. 6. That was not hard, was it? Okay. Now we have to think. I know that's going to be tough for some of you, but we can do it. Okay? Here's what we have to think. What two numbers multiply to be 5 and add to be 6? Nobody say anything. What two numbers multiply to be 5 and add to be 6? Well, we have to think for a second. What two numbers multiply to be 5 to start with? Well, I started you off with an easy one, didn't I? 1 times 5. Those are the only two numbers that multiply to be 5, aren't they? Well, do those two numbers add to be 6? Yes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite this equation that we just have. X squared plus 1x plus 5x plus 5. So do you see how I rewrote it, but I split my middle term into two parts? Yeah? And I got those two parts from doing my AC and my B. Right? Oh, it's 4 terms. You guys are good at this. Right? So just look at the first two. If I just look at the first two terms, what do those two terms have in common? X. What's left if I factor out an X? X plus 1. Just look at the second two terms. What do those two terms have in common? 5. Excuse me. What's left if I factor out a 5? X plus 1. Do these two terms have something in common? They both have an X plus 1 factor, don't they? So take the X plus 1 out. What's left from this term if I factor out an X plus 1? X. What's left from this term if I factor out an X plus 1? 5. Done. Now, did I make it clear that this is the hard way?
Wait.
Yeah. Okay. We'll go with what you say. Let's try this one. What do we need to do first? A, B, C. So what is AC? 12. What is B? 7. Tell me what two numbers multiply to be 12. All of them. 1 and 12. 2 and 6. 3 and 4. Is that it? What set of these numbers that multiply to be 12 will add to be 7? 3 and 4, right? 3 and 4. X squared plus 3x plus 4x plus 12. Grouping. What's common? Factor it out. What are we left with? X plus 3. Grouping. What's common? Factor it out. What's left? X plus 3. Do these two terms have something in common? X plus 3. What's left from this term if we factor out an x plus 3? X. What's left from this term if we factor out an x plus 3? 4. Done. Did I mention that this is the hard way? Okay. Just making sure. Because you guys don't believe me yet. Let's do this one. What do we do first? A, B, C. What's AC? Negative 36. What's B? Negative 5. So what are the things that multiply to be with 36? 1 and 36. 2 and 18. 3 and 12. 4 and 5. Doesn't work. 6. 6. Wait. Do these multiply to be negative 36? No, why didn't I write the signs then? Like, we can know that, right? I don't have to write 1 and negative 36 and then negative 1 and 36. That's something we can think about and know, right? You okay with that? Which set of these will add up to be a negative 5? Knowing that one of these has to be a positive and one has to be a negative. What kind of 4 and 9? 4 and negative 9, right? That's what I need to split my middle term into. X squared plus 4x minus 9x minus 36. All I did was split my middle term into two parts. But very specific two parts because I know they're going to work, right? So, what's common? X. What's left? X plus 4. What's common? Ooh, which one? Is it 9 or negative? Negative 9, right? Why am I choosing negative 9 and not positive 9? I need my x plus 4, right? I need my x plus 4 here. And do I get it when I divide by negative 9? X plus 4. Do these two terms have something in common? X plus 4. If I factor out an x plus 4, what am I left with? X minus 9. Okay, so I have to tell you something first. I know I've been talking kind of fast, trying to get through this, because is it really that difficult? Even though I've told you this is the difficult way? Or the not easy way, I should say. Okay? But none of you have asked me the most popular question that I get asked at this point.
What's the easier way?
Not yet. We're almost there. What about this? Does it matter what order I put these two in? Can I prove it to you that it doesn't? You okay with that? Okay, well then I'm just going to start from right here. I'm going to say x and x minus 9. And then here I'm going to factor out a 4 and get x minus 9. They have an x minus 9 in common, and what's left is x plus 4. Are they the same thing? So does it matter what order we put these two in when we split the middle term? So that's proved. Fair enough? Okay, are you ready to see the easy way now? Okay. Looking back at your notes, looking back at all of these problems, what do you notice about every single A? They're all 1, right? A is 1. So when will the shortcut work? When will the easy way work? When A is 1. If A is not 1, we have to do this other way. This other hard way. Right? Quote unquote. Exactly. So when A is 1, look. When A is 1, look. When A is 1, look. Wow. Watch. Is A 1? Can I do the shortcut here? What's AC? 10. What's B? So it multiplies to be 10 and adds to be 7. X plus 2 and x plus 5. Done. What about this one? X squared plus 20x minus 100. Maybe we need to do some side work here. 1 and 100. 2 and 50. 3 doesn't work. 4 and 25. 5 and 20. 6 doesn't work. 7 doesn't work. 8. No. 9. No. 10. 10 and 10. So it multiplies to be negative 100 and adds to be positive 20. 10 and negative 10 multiply to be negative 100. Add to be mathematically, what are we saying? It's not factorable, right? Not factorable. So I try to trick you, right? Okay, be ready for those. What about this one? We can use what we just did. Multiplies to be negative 100, adds to be negative 21. X minus 25, x plus 4. So, comparatively speaking, is this way a little bit more difficult than this way? Comparatively speaking, are either one of them difficult? No. There's what? 1, 2, 3 steps here and only 1 step here. But this only works when? Okay, when A is 1. A is called our leading coefficient, just so we have some good vocabulary going on. Okay, our leading coefficient, our A value is 1. That's when our shortcut works. Yes, ma'am?
What happens if A is negative 1?
Oh, that's a good question, and we'll talk about that in a little while. And by that, I mean in the next lesson. That's like foreshadowing, right? Foreshadowing. Okay. But are you confident in this way? Are you confident in this way as well? Finding AC, figuring out the factors, figuring out which factors add to be B, splitting the middle term. And I know you're fine with grouping because we worked on that yesterday. Yeah? Any questions about this? Okay. Just so you know, these are the questions I want you to circle on your worksheet. Okay? On factoring quadratics side A, I want you to circle 6, 9, 14, 16, and 19. And on side E, I want you to circle 4, 9, 14, 15, and 17.
Okay, so on the first one, it starts with 6. That's the first one?
Yes, side A. Yeah. Yep, correct. Side A starts with 6. Okay? Any questions about that?